Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sallystampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you a very simple Tealight vellum box. Not so much a vellum box but a vellum lid, but how beautiful is it? And I just think that you actually don't need anything else on this. Just the vellum does the talking itself, very simple sentiment and some beautiful coordinating ribbon. I did realise when I made this one that most of the other colours that I use I don't have coordinating ribbon for, but anyway, we're going to roll with it because I think it's fun. So yeah, it's really simple. This actually holds 8 tea lights, but they are quite thin. One of the local shops in the UK, it's called Vellum, a fabulous home store that just, yeah, I could spend millions in there, seriously. I went in, picked these up, they were £3 for 24, which I thought was amazing. When I got to the till, they'd been reduced to £2.50, so even more of a bargain. But as you can see, they are slightly slimmer than normal tea lights, which is why I decided to use 8 instead of just 4, which I had originally planned on. So we'll get those out while I'm here. But yes, Vellum, just, I love it. I'm sure anybody that's from the UK and knows of Vellum will agree with me that it is a money pit, because you go in there and you always come out with something. So move those to one side. Let's create our box first. So just move the trimmer. So get your Simply Scored. Absolutely love this. Available on the shop online store, link is just below. The trimmer, anything I use is all available for purchase in the store. I never use retired products, so anything that I use is in the store. This is Pear Pizzazz, the previous one is Mint Macaron. So for the base of this tea light box, you are going to need a piece of cardstock. There's 8 1/8 by 3.5 or 20.5 by 9 centimetres. And we're simply going to score all of our sides at 1 inch or 2.5 centimetres. Okay, move that out of the way. Fold and burnish all of your score lines. So bone folder, this is a little bit, to be fair, I've got, would you believe, I've got 4. And I think I'm quite possibly in need of a new one because they're all, that's probably the best in terms of the image still on there, but in terms of the state of them, they're all pretty disgusting actually. But anyway, bone folder to give your folds a real nice crisp edge. I have seen some people use this end or hold it like that and use the side. Any way that's comfortable to you, whatever you find easiest. I, for some reason, find it easier to hold it at a very slight angle and push away or towards me along the crease. So once you've done that, paper snips, we're going to cut these corners. So we're just going to cut down that score line and create a little wedge of cheese that comes out, slither of cheese. If my husband got that on his plate, he would not be impressed. And I don't generally mean he just gets cheese on his plate. Crikey, although he'd be quite happy because he loves cheese, but yeah, I just meant generally if we had cheese with something. Oh dear. Okay, not enough caffeine this morning. I'm a little delirious, I think, still. So all 4 corners then, you cut down that score line, take a little wedge out of each corner, and so you've then got the same from all 4 corners, like so. Tombow liquid glue, but there are various forms of adhesive in our catalogue and online, so have a look to see which you prefer. And then you're just literally bringing, whoops, these pegs are not available. They are from my own crafty stash, but trust me, you can pick pegs up anywhere. You could even use normal full-size clothes pegs if the need arises. If you're just beginning or just starting your crafty stash, then as I say, normal clothes pegs will do the trick. Paper clips, any kind of hinged clip that will hold your card together. So that's that part. So then we have the vellum. So this is the artfully, no it's not, it's the vellum layering designs, which let me just grab amongst everything else that's on here. There is so many different designs, so I'm not going to get them out because you can actually see here. You have the, what I would class as newspaper column type text, black and white. There is this one, the original one that I use, so it's pretty much like blocks of script, really pretty. I can't, oh there it is, it's sort of in the corner here. Blocks of script, really nice, black and white. Then this map type effect, and I want to say there's another one, but I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, so there's the newspaper type text, so white, black, there's the white sort of map type shape, and that's the black one. Then there's this script type one, another black newspapery type one. So yeah, there's plenty to be going at, and I think they're real fun and really nice to use. Sometimes I think you see them and you think, well, they're really nice, but how do I use them? But just let them do as you would with DSP, and just, yeah, just use them as you would. So your lid or vellum is 7 5/8 by 3 or 9 1/2 by 8. Don't forget your shim, and we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch on all four sides, or 2 centimetres. I'm still dog sitting. Well, I'm not still dog sitting, but when I'm filming, I am still dog sitting. So yes, and there was a cat in the garden just before I started filming, so of course it sent her into a tailspin. Okay, so I've actually scored that on the wrong side, but never mind. So it is a little harder, as you can see. You can't really see other than maybe with the shadow. So just make sure when you when you fold these score lines, which obviously helps if you do them the right side, just make sure that it's lined up on the edges, and then get your bone folder in there. It literally, vellum is amazing because once you score it, it just literally folds flat. So you need to sort of unpeel it a little bit just to give yourself that, but it will hold its shape. It's brilliant. Again, so we're going to work the same trick on all four sides here. Misty. So Misty is my mum and stepdad's dog. She also is Daisy's sister, my Daisy's sister. So she is another Shih Tzu. She is very cheeky. She has a character like no other. But she is lovely. But she's very funny as well, actually. But my girls are quite used to me being in my craft room, so they know to just sort of sit in the living room and doze in the sunshine. But she's a bit like, well, what are we doing now? What's happening? So trying to keep her entertained, as it were. But she's okay. So, as you see, fold, burnish those score lines again. Then with your snips, you're just going to repeat the process again with your sides, your corners. Just cut those wedges out. And so that's exactly the same again. and then just add, so we can now take our pegs, clips, paper clips, whatever off there, back in again with adhesive on these sides, and again just repeat the process with this. As I say, this is really good because it does actually just hold its shape. Actually really nice to work with. So, right, so just while that adhesive is holding there, I've got my pizzazz, I've got my artfully layered stamps, and I'm going to go back with my thank you because I quite like that. I'm just going to heat emboss a little sentiment. So I've got my Versamark stamp it onto a bit of card there, and then I have my white embossing powder that won't be in these plastic containers much longer. As I say, I've had a bit of a sort out. The white embossing powder actually comes under a pack now, which is the basic embossing powders. So you have basic and you have metallic. They come in a pack of 3. So here is the basic, clear, white and black, which I haven't used for a while, so that's reminded me I need to use that. But yeah, a fabulous collection. And then metallics, you have copper, silver and gold. And then you just need your heat tool, which again is available on the online store, and has a UK plug and a European plug, so make sure you order the right one. And then we're just going to heat this up really simply. You'll soon know once it changes. I still remember now the first time I did it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm never going to do this. This is something I've never had to do. Don't know how to do it. It looks amazing, but really, can I do it? And I love heat embossing now. To be fair, there's a lot more to it, or a lot more techniques than I actually use, which is bad of me. I should probably try and do some more of them, but I'm a basic stamper in terms of I do what I do, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this up now. I'll just take a little bit off there, and then a little bit off the bottom, and then just trim these sides a fraction more. Okay, and then I just want to, so I'm going to eyeball. You can measure. I sometimes use my grid paper, so I kind of eyeball where I want it to sort of cut, or you can use the banner punch, but it's just as easy to do it yourself. And then let's get this created. So I'm going to pop my lovely super slim Tealights in, take the pegs off my vellum, and then pop my lid on, which hopefully will fit nicely. Famous last words. Why does this never work when I'm on camera? The other one fit like an absolute charm. This one is just playing the game. Sides are catching there. Right, there we go. That is my lid on. And then I'm going to use the smoky slate textured ribbon. As I said, I don't have coordinating, which is frustrating because it would look really smart. I have tons of ribbon, but just didn't use my brain. Again, surprisingly, when I did this one. But again, I do love grey. So, oh crumbs, probably should have cut this a bit longer. Yes, let's go. Let's try that again. Let's use the sensible option, shall we? And I was going to say tie it before I cut it, but you can't, can you? Oh my days, definitely not enough caffeine. Okay. This obviously, you tie this in a knot, I suppose, but you can do it really tightly and it will just slide off the box. People don't have to be fighting to do it, you know, undo it before they open it. There we go. So that's just trimmed like so, and then I'm just going to twist that a little bit. There we go. And then this is literally just going to be stuck on with a little bit of our seal. You can use wet glue, you could use glue dots, anything you want, and it's simply just going to tuck under the ribbon there and on the top, and that is it. And that is my Tealight Vellum box, and I really like them. I think they would make lovely thank you gifts. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go and have another cup of tea. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.